to Podcast.MP4, the best named podcast on the internet. We're not going to change the name, let's face it. It's a beautiful name, we'll stick with it. Today I'm joined by only two of my lovely, lovely team. First of all, since Luke's not here, he'll have to be my main man, your boy, Jordan.
Hello.
How's it going?
Good, glad to be the main man today, the number one boy.
Well, be careful, I can't take that away from you.
Okay.
Josh is our second lovely guest.
Immediately demoted.
Yeah. Our second guest and producer of the hour, Josh Castry. How you doing?
I'm breathing, so pretty good.
Well, you've made it to the end of another week. So, Podcast.MP4, as you all know, is our podcast where we look at movies and games and all the kind of stuff that keeps you sane in these mad times in this crazy world. We will talk about gaming first, so we'll go straight into it. Boys, what do you think of the idea of Spyro being remade? Did you ever play Spyro the Dragon?
I played Spyro on Game Boy Advance.
So no, not properly.
No, not so.
I admit, not properly.
Oh, Lord.
Couldn't play it on that because I didn't really get what you had to do. Found a few portals and I would always play the same 3 levels over and over again because I never knew how to advance through it.
These PlayStation boys, they can't play 3D games. Hannah said the same thing to me as well with Spyro. I couldn't understand it because it's 3D. It's Crash Bandicoot. It's not real 3D, is it? You're running towards a screen. Unlike our Super Mario 64 players. I mean, I never actually played Spyro.
I played bits of it, but like you named it, Crash Bandicoot is what I used to play. Spyro, yes. I always knew existed, and I had a go, but I'm not at all.
Not a pro.
I don't care. That's fine.
Well, this is going to be indifferent news to you then. Apparently, Spyro's being remade. It's a rumour at the moment. It's not confirmed. It's not exactly shocking. Exactly.
I'm sure it will do well. I think it's a smart thing to do. I'm just not going to buy it.
No, I don't know. Actually, I might give it a go. This time round. Obviously, Crash Bandicoot did incredibly well. So Activision are going to
played
milk
it the other day. Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah.
That famous bridge level that takes forever to.
We
know all about that.
Yeah. We streamed that level a while back, and we were there for a good hour. Jordan wouldn't give up. He would not give up.
I did it.
He did it. And Jordan and I have also actually completed the Stormy Ascent level. It's supposed to be the hardest level that was cut from the game.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Took us some time.
Pat on the back.
Thank you.
But it was good. No, I really liked the Crash remake. Again, as a kid, I never really played through it properly. I got to like level 5 and I'd always give up.
See, I'll say I enjoyed the Crash remake, but I played through Crash 1, half of Crash 2, and then stopped.
Yeah.
And then I just couldn't be... It's not that I couldn't be bothered, but it's... You know, it is just really a PlayStation 1 game. And content, there's not loads of it in there. It's well designed, well done, but...
You probably have tons of people telling you, you're wrong.
Well, yeah, for me personally, I enjoyed what I played, but I never went back to it. Have you gone back?
What, to Spyro?
No, to Crash.
Oh, sorry, yeah, Crash Bandicoot, yeah. No, I haven't gone back to the remake. And there's 3 games on there as well.
Yeah.
I don't think I got to the end of Crash 2. We did Crash 3 and pretty much all Crash 1. But yeah, no, I never really played through Spyro. It was always that game that my cousins had. You know, it's like you go around their house, they've got PlayStation 1, they've got Spyro the Dragon, and you see them play little bits of it, but you never actually play it.
Yeah, like I've had goes on Spyro, but
yeah,
I'm not like...
What was the Game Boy Advance one though? Was that 2D, like a 2D platformer?
Yeah, it was like top...
Aren't the Game Boy Advance games the crossover they did with Crash Bandicoot?
No.
The warped games or something?
Oh yeah, there were loads of crossover games.
There were, but it wasn't the one I played. I'm sure, because it can't have been on anything else. Yeah, it would have been Game Boy Advance. I didn't have any other handheld gamers.
Sounds like a thrilling game.
It sounds like it made a massive impression on your life.
You'd play Spider-Man, get bored of that, go back to Spyro, couldn't finish the 3 levels that I'd get past, go back again to the rest of the cartridges. Tetris was in there, of course, but...
Oh, yeah.
Classic.
Continue to circle, like, the few games that I did have.
But it's cool that they're remaking it, and it's nice that platformers have kind of made a bit of a resurgence over the last year. Obviously, you had Ukulele, Crash Bandicoot remake, you had... obviously you got Spyro coming up. You had some Mario Odyssey going back to the sort of Mario 64 style exploration, and Sonic Mania as well. So you had loads of platforming games. I think I'll give Spyro a go for the first time actually.
Yeah, fair enough.
But if we haven't played it, then there's not much to say, is there? Josh, you tagged us in something interesting earlier about everyone's favourite cheap store in the UK. Poundland.
That's right, Poundland is selling games.
But are they a pound?
No, they're not actually a pound. You'll be using pounds to buy them. We can confirm that, but no, they're not.
Yeah, because Poundland have started selling a lot of stuff that isn't a pound, and it's like
It's like they're liars now.
doing my head in a little bit.
Yeah, I
you just know where you stand.
They're becoming pound stretcher.
Yeah.
Which isn't good. They're stretching the prices upwards. Yeah, I mean, this again, it was a lad Bible, a great source. Lad Bible.
That's where I get all my best news from.
But yeah, £5 I think the prices start from. But in the video at least, don't know how true to life this will be when you actually walk into Poundland and instead of finding Red Dead Redemption and Fallout as promised in the Lad Bible video,
Yeah, you'll get
Hello
Bubsy.
Kitty. Yeah, Bubsy, Hello Kitty,
Island Adventure,
and like Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, the first game, and it'd be a tenner. So that's bizarre.
Yeah. So that's what is this ad? I can hear it playing now. A pound.
Oh yeah, here it is. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, they started shifting games. This is me reading.
Josh is doing some producing now.
And shafting games.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
350 Poundland shops across the UK are currently selling professional refurbed PlayStation 4, PS3, Xbox One,
Of course, yeah, they're
360 titles.
They're going to do consoles as well.
Fallout New Vegas and Destiny.
New Vogus.
But they're all
the
sourced
games
from
are
the
Soul Music Magpie.
Magpie.
Oh, that's where they're getting them from.
That's right.
Seems shady, doesn't it?
It does seem like some kind of black.
But the
black
trouble
market
is with
deal.
Music Magpie, like any game store that you take into, you get pennies for your game, which means that you could actually buy it again later and somehow still lose 20p doing it.
It's a con. That's why I started buying games digitally. Well, it's because I'm lazy.
Yeah, so I think that's why. Well, I was in a game earlier actually, and it's interesting because I was looking at Shadow of the Colossus is $29.99 in game, but if you download it digitally, I think it's like $24.99. If you get it from Amazon, it's $24.99. Most places, it's $24.99.
You have to be careful which way you go with the downloads compared to physical, because like when the latest Assassins was out, I was like, I really want to buy it.
Yeah.
And it was cheaper to buy the physical than the download.
Yeah.
And you just got to.
So most of them are. As a rule, it tends to be about £10 more to buy it digitally. But I see that as a delivery fee.
No, but it's strange. Like again, so.
Well, that's how I justify it.
I was just thinking when I was in game, and it's obviously relevant because Poundland's starting to sell video games of all places. But it's weird to think like. They've always had problems with the last kind of like 5-10 years or so, these kind of brick and mortar game stores with Amazon and digital copies, and it's strange that they're still hijacking the prices up when really they should be doing more to try and get customers to go and buy the physical copies from the game stores. So I do find that strange, especially since where we are, there's a CX across the road, a second-hand game store where you can literally get games for much cheaper. Don't know.
Yeah, I've always since digital downloading's been a thing. I've always because as I mentioned, I'm lazy. Also, on top of this, you don't even have to get out to change disc.
Yeah, no, I've got to say I'm part of that guilty party as well.
I can just lay in bed. Oh, I want to play this now, and I don't have to do anything except for press the middle button on my Xbox controller.
Do you worry about losing the games?
Losing them? Yeah. There's more chance of me losing them if I had in physical copies, I think.
That's a good
point. If I'm talking about me personally.
The other thing is like lending games.
So I've got one game on disc, The Division, and I lost it. So that's the only game I own which I can't currently play. And Luke's going mad at me, and I don't want to buy it again, but he wants to co-op it.
That a principle.
Yeah.
It is strange. I know what you mean though, Josh, because there was the incident with BioShock on the App Store for iPhone, and iPad. I always find that was strange that they released the game and then suddenly it's like, oh, we've decided it's not good enough quality or whatever, and so they make it so it's not available, and they've actually made it so you can't play it on new phones or this stuff. So if you've bought something, you literally can't use, you can't re-download, you can't do anything with it. So it's and that obviously only comes with a complete digital.
And that was a big problem when PS4 and Xbox One were being released. Was the idea that you could only play with an internet connection, you could, especially with a physical copy, to stop, to enhance, to promote buying more and more physical copies for each person. But Alas, they did not win.
I think I've got like 140 odd games ready to
what
install.
digitally?
Yeah.
Well, I've got tons of them because Xbox. Obviously, if you're on Xbox Live Gold, they give you like
free
a couple of
one every
games.
month.
Yeah. There were 4 games, isn't it? Actually,
But because I've been basically buying digitally since I had my 360, just over the years.
Do you have an external hard drive?
No, so because you paid for it, and I can delete and re-download it at any point.
Yeah. It's quite cool. Like, I'm not actually. I used to be subscribed to PlayStation Plus as well, and download those games digitally. I've actually downloaded more games digitally that I bought on PlayStation 4 than if it's something through their shop. I don't know if I just like using the store more. There's much better deals normally, I find, on PlayStation than with Xbox.
As well, isn't it?
I do like the convenience. I don't really buy games.
No, I rarely buy physical copies.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I think the last physical copy I had was a present.
Yeah. Do you
wasn't-
remember what it was?
Yeah, it was Watch Dogs. It was last Christmas, not the Christmas just gone. Christmas before.
It wasn't even the most recent Watch Dogs either.
It was
Yeah.
It was Watch Dogs 2 and Need for Speed Payback, like just all the latest ones I've got. But this Christmas, because I was off ill, I downloaded.
Off from Christmas ill.
So I had Ratchet and Clank.
I never played Ratchet, but again, another PlayStation platformer.
Such a good game.
Is this the remake you're talking about?
Well, I played all the originals.
Yeah.
And then they made the movie. It was based on the original.
And they made a game.
Now they made a game based on the movie that's based on the original.
Yeah, like, I thought so strange.
Which they're meta about anyway. They know it, so it's fun. But
yeah, they seem to have a lot of charm, those games.
Yes.
No, I've never really played any of them. I always get them confused with Jack and Daxter and like...
Oh, yes, yeah. Jack and Daxter.
And Ratchet.
Again, I never played those either.
No, me neither.
But, you know, it's interesting. Obviously, it goes back to obviously, we've gone on a bit of a circle, but it goes back to the whole Spyro thing. These kind of mascot platforming games are kind of come back a little bit, which is good. So this week's actually been quite quiet for gaming news, so it's going to move straight on to movies. Although, a minute ago, we just put up a trailer reaction, a bit of discussion, but we can go into more detail here. Bridging the gap between movies and games, Ready Player One, a brand new trailer. Trailer number 2 just been released, with a few familiar faces. Obviously, we've seen Tracer from Overwatch before. We've seen Lara Croft in some trailers. A direct reference to Mario Kart this time round. Jordan, what are your thoughts on the upcoming movie?
I'm super excited for Ready Player One. I think the action looks brilliant. The set pieces look brilliant, and like it should just be called pop culture. The movie,
Yeah, it really is. Yeah,
like I think there's got to be something in there for everybody, every fan base, every fandom. I think
there's like tiny things just hidden in the background.
Well, I mean, it's purpose built for that because it's the whole movie is on the premise of Easter eggs,
and it's coming out in this YouTube culture of breakdown videos. It's very,
it's very self-aware of what it is, especially. In
I think it's releasing near Easter as well, isn't it?
I think it's
which is why I said
I think March. End of March. So that's is that intentional?
This is what I said the other day. I didn't know whether that was just pure irony and coincidental.
There is a giant egg in the poster. Can we talk about the poster for a second?
Oh, the long leg one.
Yeah,
go on. Yeah. So Josh showed us this on Tuesday, I think it was, a bit of artwork for Ready Player One, where the young hero is climbing heroically up the side of a building. And if you look closely,
you don't even have to look closely. It's so
glaringly obvious.
I can't believe it made. How many people did that go through before they said yes?
Especially with the whole Tomb Raider, Alicia Vikander.
The neck,
but I feel like Netgate was like it was a little bit weird, whereas this one's like
it's just a very
in your
long
face.
leg. It's like 2 knees as well.
Yeah, I'd love it if the film starts up and he's like just got one super long leg. They've
never mentioned it before. They're like,
he's got a long leg.
See, the poster was right all along. We told you. Yeah, it is very strange. They actually, if you look at the other leg, it's also very long. They've tried to kind of like balance it out.
I wonder, because there is a slight perspective anyway to the way the photo's taken and the way it's walked, but like you can only forgive it so much. Until you have a giraffe's neck as a leg.
I mean that poster's at the local cinema.
Is it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a complete oversight.
Yeah.
I mean, to the point where instead of talking about the cool stuff in the trailer, like the T-Rex, everyone's favourite dino from Jurassic Park, seemingly being in the film, and I'm hoping he's going to fight King Kong. But instead of talking about all those cool bits, we're talking about a bloody poster with some leg that's slightly longer than the other one.
I'm excited to see Iron Giant. That's
So that's something we were talking about. Do you think Vin Diesel's returning to the role? I'm sure we could find out.
No.
It's more fun to discuss.
I don't think he'll say anything. I don't think Iron Giant will speak. I think maybe he will.
He's
maybe
been
he
in
will.
all the trailers.
Yeah.
It feels like
He's
like
prominent.
set piece,
He's really prominent.
I know what I mean, like in each trailer we've actually seen him in a different area, so we know it's not one scene.
Is the Iron Giant actually in the book? I doubt it. I haven't read it yet.
I've not read it.
Josh, have you read Ready Player One?
No, I downloaded the audio book that had Will Wheaton.
Yeah.
But I don't like Will Wheaton's audio, so I stopped playing it.
Because it is interesting. There's so many Spielberg references. Obviously, he's directing it. So it's interesting that there's so many in there. Obviously, Jurassic Park and this newest one, Iron Giant's kind of hanging around.
There's quite a few anime references in it. There's a Gundam suit in one of the
that's right, the first trailer.
trailers. That trailer cut to the Jump, the Van Halen song. I think that's my favourite trailer for it so far.
Yeah.
It just looks fun.
Yeah.
Start to finish, fun.
So it's possibly the best video game movie ever made, which would be interesting. It's the two ways
it's like Wreck-It Ralph.
Yeah, I was going to say there are scenes in that trailer that look a bit like Wreck-It Ralph, like where they're going through these portals and from the different games or arenas.
I'm going to wreck it.
So that would be interesting. But like you say, Josh, we were sort of saying in the video, who would we like to see appear as a reference? Obviously, you've got quite a variety in there so far. Who would you like to see show up?
Out of all video
games, films, it's pretty much everything, isn't it?
It'd be interesting if they allude to Grand Theft Auto in any way, in the sense that it's a
probably
one anyway. Ratchet and Clank.
Oh yeah,
I mean, I'm a big fan, so they're my childhood gaming heroes, I think.
The thing is, as well, with this movie, it's so mental because they might do. Anyone could literally just turn up out of nowhere.
Yeah, I would love to get halfway through and they reference me.
It's like they just reference everyone in the audience who sees it somehow.
Oh, that's my gamer tag.
It's some kind of like really confusing camera setup in the cinema screens where it projects your face onto. As a cameo.
I'm a star. Do you remember those?
I'm a star. I'm an Easter egg.
Do you remember back in the day you could go to places like camera shops, like digital camera shops would do it, where you get a VCR and you give them a picture of your face and they put it into a cartoon.
Yeah.
I remember having one of them. Oh, how far we've come.
I was saying to Jordan as well actually earlier about the licenses they've had to and the permissions they've had to get all these characters. It's interesting. It's like one of those things that have people gone, you can use them, or if they approach like the different companies that own these properties. I don't think
Spielberg hasn't even asked. He's just like,
they assume that'll be right. No, and the exec's like, Spielberg, look, I know you like Tracer from Overwatch, and I know you want to put her in the movie, but we really must contact Blizzard. No, fine. I'm Spielberg. I made E.T. Fine.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Because if they have done, and if they've had to, I'd imagine a lot of people have just let them use the properties for free if they're a background character. But I don't know. I know Nintendo's notoriously.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I think they'll only
strict
audio references to Nintendo.
They were really strict with Wreck-It Ralph. They wouldn't let them use. They let them use Bowser.
Yeah,
for Mario, but I don't think they'd let them use Mario.
No, apparently there's not at all.
Yeah,
it's like sacrilege if they did.
Yeah, it's.
But they're super protective, aren't they? And who can blame them? It's worked for them. They're a huge business still.
Yeah.
Well, you've got to remember as well with companies like Disney and Warner Brothers, a lot of them own the license rights for the video game versions of the characters as well, so merchandise.
Yeah.
And that might well come into the way they license this. So it might be very easy. And if they don't have any lines, and they're just
I think a lot of them won't have some. Yeah.
Then it's very easy to get this film.
It's also just a good, like as Jordan was saying earlier, that people are going to be scouring through these trailers to find Easter eggs and find these characters. Even having your character show up in one of these countless videos that come out is going to be a good advert for your game, movie, franchise, whatever it is. So Lara Croft appears in the trailer. So people are talking about Lara Croft when they're talking about the trailer. So suddenly people are talking about your thing again.
Yeah,
so it's probably worth just bunging in for free.
Yeah. Where do you think the Ready Player One's going to land when it comes out? Do you reckon it's going to be an instant classic? What do you think?
It's definitely going to have that classic connotation with Spielberg directing, like everything.
Family film.
Yeah, sort of him and J.J. Abrams, I think, have sort of monopolised the modern adventure classic.
Yeah, like J.J. Abrams was Super 8. Even though it's
Super
like a bit of a horror,
exactly.
it's still good for families.
So I think whether it deserves to be a classic or not, we'll have to see, but it will be.
Spielberg's had some films out that people haven't massively enjoyed. I really like the War of the Worlds film he did, but obviously there's a lot of people who absolutely hate it.
Yes, an acquired taste that I liked it.
Yeah,
but again,
haunting,
into that comes Tom Cruise. Like, he's an acquired taste for a lot of people.
Yeah,
as well,
yeah.
So
I think he's getting that. Like, Tom Cruise is on his way out. If you're listening, Tom,
take some advice.
Your dad, Jordan, your dad is place in England. There's nobody who's telling you you're done, even though he's about to launch Mission Impossible 6.
Yeah, it looks good. Let's be honest, it looks really good.
See, that's the trouble. I will watch any movie that Tom Cruise is in. I haven't watched The Mummy yet. I will watch any.
Apparently, you shouldn't. Apparently,
this is it. But he is the saving feature of that film.
Well, he's
really good.
It's
one of
the We've had this discussion a few times. As a rule, Sam and I say if Tom Cruise is in it, it's watchable.
Yes.
However, The Mummy. And what was the other one? American Made?
American Made,
I never saw that.
Yeah, they both did awfully in the cinema.
Yeah, and Mission Impossible was sort of retreading certain grounds. But I thought he was good in War of the Worlds, and I thought Spielberg did a good job of... Because it was haunting. Like, it was actually like a scary, unknown film. And but people just didn't like it. So he's not infallible. He really isn't,
What's your favourite?
And obviously, sorry, before we move on, Indiana Jones, The Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, obviously.
Spielberg, yeah.
So
we don't talk about that.
so there you go. So only time will tell. But I think it's looking good.
It's interesting with Tom Cruise because it's the same argument with like superhero movies. Is he oversaturating himself? Because you always used to wait for a good Tom Cruise movie to come. Like it would come, once a year or every other couple of years. But now it's almost one every 9 months. There's another one coming out.
What's your favourite Tom Cruise character?
Tom Cruise.
That's Tom Cruise.
Yeah, he doesn't really play.
He does play Tom Cruise in everything. Yeah, you are right. Yeah.
Especially nowadays.
I think in Mission Impossible 3, it's pretty damn good.
Yeah,
J.J.
I think
Abrams.
that's the best.
So not movie, character.
Yeah,
I was going with Les Lerman. I forget his name.
Tropic
Thunder.
Yeah, they did a spin-off movie with him, weren't they?
They were
around to it.
I didn't realise it was Tom Cruise till the credits came up.
And it's the same when did you watch Rock of Ages?
No.
Which he was in.
No.
And after you got... Because you were like, wait, this is Tom Cruise as this like weird like Mick Jagger type character.
The trailer.
Yeah, and then after about 5 minutes you forget it's Tom Cruise and you actually get sucked in quite nicely. So I was pleasantly surprised with him in that.
You
don't really see Tom Cruise as a character actor. He's just Tom Cruise.
Yeah, like Night and Day as well. He is just Tom Cruise or Jack
just a man sprinting.
He loves a good sprint. There's even like a featurette on the Mission Impossible 3 DVD where it's about him just running. You're like,
it's not even a piss take. It's not even like a piss take.
No. It's a genuine feature because he's got to sprint down the streets of... I can't remember where the film ends up, if it's Japan or Thailand or
somewhere.
Or somewhere.
It's Dubai, isn't it? Which one are we talking about?
3.
Mission Impossible 3.
Sorry.
He ain't in Dubai then, but he's sprinting down this like
Shanghai.
Yeah, Shanghai. He's
something like that.
Don't brace in the comments if we're wrong. But either way, the point is he's running down past this body of water down like a canal or something. Yeah. And it's really long stretch.
Shouting, Chunkai! Chunkai!
Oh yeah, move!
Yeah.
It is a feature out on the DVD.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you guys saw Black Panther as well.
Yes, we did.
Marvel's latest. Obviously, reviews just gone up.
Yes, we did.
I haven't seen it yet. I do want to see it at some point. Like I say, too many superhero movies, but I'll still watch them all. So I'm guilty as everyone.
Yeah.
As anyone.
That's what everyone says. Oh, I'm sick of all these heroes, and then they turn up and watch it. It's your fault, people.
Yeah.
I love watching them, so keep going. But
I mean, make sure you check out me and Jordan's video. But as a general rundown, we did come out of a bit as a a bit of a meh.
Yeah.
That was a general sort of
it's a movie
review. I was thinking about this today actually. I'm wondering if my opinion on the movie will change with Infinity War coming out. I wonder if Infinity War will have any effect on the story of Black Panther, looking like in retrospect.
Black Panther has been very hyped up as well, more so than say like a lot of the films.
And I think that's a I mean, we always hype up these films and then get let down.
Yeah.
But it's very different with Black Panther because it was such a different. Well, it was groundbreaking because it's a black superhero.
Yeah.
It's a mainly black cast. So suddenly we're thinking that. Very much like Wonder Woman was with all women, we're expecting this big thing.
I thought Wonder Woman was rubbish too.
Well,
I've not seen it. I've not seen either of them. That's out of my.
I genuinely
superhero
want to know your
tiredness.
opinion though.
Yeah, I'll see it soon. I really do want to see it soon. But with the MCU, they've been planning Black Panther for a long time. I think there's Iron Man 2 where they've got Wakanda on a map in the background and stuff like that. It's quite cool.
Yeah.
They even put out a trailer in Japan where they go over all of the kind of references China, not Japan. They go over all the references of Black Panther so far for the MCU as part of the advertising.
Oh right,
yeah,
that's interesting.
I think isn't that the trailer says the Avengers have a new king? It's like, what's happening to Captain America then? That sounds like a spoiler thing.
Yeah, it might well be. Yeah, it's interesting, but no, it's surprising that it's sort of a 7 out of 10. Would you say? Don't know if you
5. I'm going
really.
Yeah,
really?
just
I would say 6 just to keep it over the middle bar, but even that's being
before you have comments saying, it's a masterpiece.
It was
Josh an idiot.
not a masterpiece.
It was average, which is why I'm going with 5.
And Jordan explains this in the video.
0 is crap. 10's brilliant, so 5 is average.
It's interesting because there have been 9s and 10s across the board, obviously. And
I'm not going to be one of those people who goes online and go, well, you're wrong, you're wrong.
It's a movie. Everyone has an opinion about a movie.
My personal preference, and personally.
So this just in. Black Panther is tracking to beat Deadpool's box office record, possible 200 million plus holiday weekend.
No, it has been hyped. Like Deadpool, the Deadpool launch as well. That was really overhyped.
Yeah,
that was not as funny as people.
Film.
We talked about this last time, obviously, because we talked about Deadpool 2. But yeah, Deadpool was an okay film. It wasn't like some kind of hilarious romp.
I mean, the box office is nowadays is just a reflection on how good the marketing was.
Yeah, definitely.
Because the best marketing campaign any film's ever had, probably.
Yeah,
Deadpool.
it's just. It's not reflective of what people actually think because nobody gets their money back from those.
With Deadpool 2, for example, you've got a trailer where he's got that scene with like Deadpool dressed as Woody and he's like playing with the toys. Yeah, which is funny, but they know that when they make that, like BuzzFeed will go, "You've got to check out this hilarious," and Lad Bible will pick it up. And they know they get all this marketing for free of people just sharing it on Facebook.
Yeah.
So. And I say, Deadpool had a great marketing campaign when it first came out, but it wasn't like you said. It wasn't as funny as
it wasn't as funny as the video game, the Deadpool video game. It's very one note. It's toilet humor and 4 fall breaks, which is fine. But actually, the character of Deadpool's a lot more than that.
Yeah.
But the film was fine. It was okay.
Deadpool.
Yeah.
But again, it's just Ryan Reynolds in his perfect role because he is that character. Nowadays casting is just finding the real life version of the character.
Person. But Robert Downey Jr. and Tony Stark, for example.
Oh yeah, exactly.
I mean, that's kind of kicked it off. That in a way
fault the Disney casting machine.
You can't.
I don't think a single person in any Marvel film has been miscast so far.
No, I agree. Actually, I think they've.
What about Rhodey?
Oh yeah, but like character existed. This is the point.
And Bruce Banner.
That's been a rocky road, isn't it? The Hulk's journey.
Do you think Edward Norton was miscast? Do you think he was bad in a role? Yeah, I've not seen that film in so long now.
When you compare it to who is it at the moment?
I'm gonna need more
drawing a blank.
Mark Ruffalo.
Thank you.
Oh right.
When you compare it to Mark Ruffalo, you like immediately think that Eric Bana and Ed Norton miscast.
No.
The first.
Oh, he's not happy. John's going mental. He's turning into the Hulk.
Right. So the Eric Bana one was just down to bad movie, comic book. Well, yeah, Ang Lee style comic book movie. It didn't work. Edward Norton is technically canon, so he was in the MCU universe. It's not bad. He's got like a sweet innocence to him that I haven't seen from an Edward Norton character before. So
Mark Ruffalo, a sweet innocence, definitely on the money with that one. I do think he's the weakest actor.
Who's that?
Mark Ruffalo.
Interesting. Oh, actor in the MCU or out of the three?
In the MCU. Okay. I think he's the weakest actor.
But he's not the weakest Hulk.
Do you think that's because of his demeanour, of how he's quite like, I don't know
I think he's very much in the background.
For me, it's like everybody's doing their part and he's acting a scene. He's to me quite specifically. This is going to really weird clip to point out, but in the Iron Man 3 end credit scene, there's a bit where
and he's in the therapy session.
Yeah, and matey boy Mark Ruffalo pretends to fall asleep, and it's so acted. To me, it always seemed, and especially in Thor Ragnarok, it just seemed to me like these are obviously lines you've rehearsed, as they never feel natural.
So you're just saying that Mark Ruffalo's a bad actor?
Yes. I like Mark Ruffalo.
But is he better than Ed Norton?
So I'd have to watch the whole film again, because I've not seen that film since it came out. I think I saw it in the cinema. But yeah, I like Mark Ruffalo, and he doesn't annoy me to the point where I can stop watching. But personally, weakest actor.
What do you think about this then? Another superhero movie. At least it's not Marvel, at the very least. Incredibles 2. Yes, still Disney. They're still making the money either way. They own everything. Incredibles 2 trailer was out this morning, I think, the early hours of the morning.
I think it leaked last night.
It's sweet. It's cute. It
is honestly. It is up there with Infinity War for my most anticipated film.
Oh, that's that's a fair point.
I'm really looking forward to it. Is that coming off nostalgia or?
I think a bit of both. Obviously, I loved. So The Incredibles is my favourite Pixar film, and as I've gotten older, I've gotten really into superhero films. So it's great now to get a sequel to this film I loved as a kid in this, superhero-rich environment, which I'm at the moment fully.
And they are taking an interesting look at it as well. Like, it's not just the family going against another villain. From the trailer, it looks more interesting than that. With
it's more internal struggles with
the family and everything else. Yeah.
There's, in Pixar universe, I kind of resent them for not making Incredibles 2. I mean, a lot of people do.
They are. That's what we're talking about.
It's coming out this year
earlier than they have. But they have made Cars 2 and Planes and Cars 3.
Yeah, but that was Disney getting involved.
That's merchandise.
Because they invested a lot of money into Cars World at Disney, so they needed Cars films to keep Cars World relevant. I think it's the reason they're still churning out Toy Stories. Is to keep, all the merchandise relevant.
I'm slightly freaked out by the sort of HD-ness of it all.
You said that earlier.
I don't like change.
But obviously it's like it's been how many years? 10 years plus since the first one.
I think 12
so just the animation itself has come a long way. I don't know if either of you watched Coco.
I saw the first.
There's a lot of people that were quite freaked out with the fact that it was very photorealistic with his Mexican town. Same with this. It's really weird to see them like HD and up close. It's bizarre. They're very smooth.
So they're reaching the uncanny valley.
And it really.
Which I didn't notice it. I didn't notice any difference.
I have the opposite effect to Josh in the sense. The most recent animated film I've watched sort of updates all the previous ones in my head.
Yeah.
So I went to watch. No, this is.
I see what you mean.
This is like 6 months ago, but Toy Story 1 was on, and I was like, "This looks awful."
Yeah.
Well, it's not awful, but I don't.
It's so robotic, like.
Yeah. So and I was sort of picturing it how Toy Story 3.
How the textures are very simple compared to what they're doing now. Yeah. For the time, obviously, it took like a massive render farm and like millions and millions of dollars. But
when the first teaser for Incredibles 2 got released, and Mr. Incredible has Jack Jack.
Oh, yeah.
Right? They zoomed in on his T-shirt because you could see all the lint and all the fluff of the polo shirt, and like they were like, that's how
detailed
the new world.
Did either of
new
you
animation
watch
world is
The
gonna
Good Dinosaur?
No.
So there's a clip in The Good Dinosaur where there is just it's actually in the trailer. There's like a little gecko, just on some like walking through the brush.
Yeah.
And it could, if you take it out of context of the animated film, you would say that's a real.
Yeah.
And it's getting.
They still do the best 3D animation with Pixar,
Definitely.
don't they? You know, DreamWorks tried.
Well, not only that, they also
Chicken Little.
pioneering.
No, Chicken Little was Disney actually. It's always Disney.
I mean, over Christmas when I was ill, I watched the original Monsters Inc.
Oh yeah.
And then watched Monsters University, and even going straight from that film to that film, felt Uncanny Valley. It was very bizarre to see it so real.
But Pixar actually like pioneer a lot of like the techniques. Oh, so for example, Incredibles 1, Violet, the younger daughter, if you look and compare, she is one of the first ever animated characters to have long hair.
Oh right.
Because it could not be done before the Incredibles.
Yeah.
And
I remember
because of every strain of hair being
and having it flow naturally.
Yeah,
so if you look, all other female characters tend to have sort of bobs that stick to their head.
That's why.
Mrs. Incredible, for example. And then that obviously... Then we've gone from Violet in The Incredibles all the way to Meredith in Brave, and she's got like... People, I think people take it for granted when they see someone on screen. They don't know that actually a team of people probably invented that.
Well, an entire engine. I mean, it's insane as well. Like when we were at college, we also used like 3D Max, like a bit of 3D modeling software, and we made an animation where we tried to put like fluff on a chick. I'm trying to do that. We learned.
I remember this animation.
Yeah, I know. And we learned the hard way that it takes a lot of computing power to put fluff or hair on model. It took about an hour to render out 3 seconds worth of footage or something like that. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. Did you end it in live action?
It ended at KFC. The whole joke was that why the chicken crossed the road, and in the end he ends it all. The latest version of Tomb Raider, they made a massive deal out of the revamped version for PC and Xbox One and everything else because Lara Croft had every strand of hair like more realistically animated in the wind. But like you're saying, something that simple probably took a lot of effort.
So a more recent one is Finding Dory.
Oh
it's the octopus.
Yeah. Yes.
The techniques they used to animate him didn't exist. They didn't know how to do that before Finding Dory. So it's incredible, really. With each film, they sort of...
It's Incredibles.
What a way back to the beginning.
It is. It's cool.
Bit of trivia for you guys.
Okay.
Does anyone know the first animated thing that went commercial? That was used at commercial capacity?
So we're not talking film.
No, the first so they're not taking necessarily film.
I could have got that.
The first piece of animation that would have been used by a Pixar computer.
By Pixar. So are we talking CGI animation?
No. This is the first thing that went commercial. So that they tested the lamp.
Yeah.
It was the first thing that got used.
No, go ahead.
So Capri Sun. They were the first ever commercial property to get an animated thing on TV or film or anything like that.
Really?
Capri Sun, yeah.
What was the animation of? Like one of those boxes or something?
It was like a box and then it had like a fruit, I think, that danced like a banana or an orange or something that danced. Hey! It just had 3D titles of Capri Sun and then this character that danced around the space. But yeah.
So
interesting.
I do know Pixar's first fully photorealistic CG, and it isn't photorealistic, but obviously it was meant to be in the time. It's actually in Young Indiana Jones.
Oh yeah.
There's a stained glass window that comes to life, and that was Pixar back before they were
back in the day before they were making Toy Story.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's interesting how these things happen. How it's become like this giant. So yeah, what do you want to see in Incredibles 2 then?
I want to see the extent of Jack Jack powers because we've only seen the same ones we got in the original Jack Jack short. they've not technically seen any new powers from him yet. It's just the demon, the lasers, the electricity baby. I want to see if he actually goes any further than like 3 or 4 banners.
Do you think it's going to be a proper villain? Do you think I can? Because watching that trailer, I was like, "It's probably going to be the tycoon guy, isn't he?" He's he's the man. He's the one with the money. Yeah. There's him rubbing his hands with glee.
I always didn't say anything because it's spoiler territory.
Because it's obvious.
Yeah, the whole film can't be about Mr. Incredible trying to raise.
The family will be donning their red suits as soon as possible. I'd imagine.
Absolutely.
Yeah, like the first half of the film will be,
beyond the border.
Yeah.
I'm very excited to see Edna mode.
Oh yeah, yes.
Not Gibbs. Edna Mod, darling.
That's voiced by a bloke, isn't she?
Yeah, it's Brad Bird that directed the film.
Yeah. Oh, is it? Oh, right.
Yeah.
I saw him on the red carpet once.
He directed Mission Impossible 4, which was his first live-action film.
I was at the premiere for that.
Oh,
wasn't allowed in, but I was on the red carpet. We were doing a junket for it. That was interesting. And he didn't talk to me. He didn't even. No. I was there for Tom Cruise was there. He also ignored me.
We've spoken to Dougray Scott though, the villain from Mission Impossible 2.
We have. He asked us to move politely
about love.
Yeah, he asked us to politely move. I believe was what happened there.
Excuse me, guys. Can I get serious?
We met the guy in Maze Runner as well.
Oh yeah.
We've met loads of people. You know what? We're too famous for this. Yeah. We're too big for this. Being around with Josh.
Will Poulter.
Hang on, wait. I have met famous people as well.
Oh, you haven't.
Who?
You met Miranda.
I did.
And she's not very nice to me.
No, she's not.
The amount of like comedians that I've met that are complete arses.
Really?
Real arses. Tim Vine was one.
We're getting a scoop here.
Tim Vine.
Who've never heard of him.
No, he's that one line.
I know who you mean.
He's the brother of Jeremy Vine on the radio.
I know which one you mean. I don't watch it.
He's in Not Going Out with Lee Mack.
Oh, what the brother?
That guy.
Okay. I wouldn't call that famous.
Yeah. Or funny.
No.
We also,
Eddie Izzard.
We were there with Tom Hiddleston. We were there with Tom Hiddleston as well, weren't we?
Yeah,
he was on stage.
Was he? Oh yeah, we met Loki.
we met loads of people.
I've met a Blue Peter presenter.
Hugh Des was there. Tamara Gray.
Yeah.
Tamsin Gray, sorry.
Ralph Little.
Oh, he likes our sunglasses gang.
Yeah,
anyway, we're getting off point. Back to movies and stuff. So, any other stuff you want to talk about movie wise? Actually, I saw The Greatest Showman the other day.
I've heard nothing but good things.
It was good. It's a good film. It's a good film.
Well, yeah. Yes.
Okay, come on then.
Yes. No, I enjoyed it.
You seem like you're dying to say more.
I don't want to be the guy that beats down on every single movie. No, I brought this up with you the other day, and the original P.T. Barnum story. He's a bit of a dick.
Yeah, it's evident. He made a freak show.
And one of our friends very aptly pointed out to me that it's technically at no point does it actually say based on a true story. So I was like,
I've heard this as well.
Oh, okay, yeah, great. That actually makes me feel better. Go for it. It's an interesting one. There's an interesting argument about whether people like the fact that it's based in the 1870s, 1800s.
Yeah.
But it's got pop songs in it because obviously.
Yeah, but
it's charted.
They are poppy, and they are good songs though. They are good songs.
Rouge did that, didn't it?
Yeah, but that was still based.
No, sorry. They did in Moulin Rouge. It literally smells like Teen Spirit.
But that's a jukebox. That's a jukebox musical. So that uses
pre-existing songs, which Great Showman doesn't. But the style of them's quite modern. But a lot of them are like the opening track is very musical. Like it's very kind of.
I've heard some of the tracks from it.
It's a great soundtrack.
It is.
I only have my biggest vice, and this was the fact that they used Rebecca Ferguson for the opera singer.
Oh,
then you find out that she's not actually singing the song; she's overdubbed by an actual opera singer afterwards. It's just like, well,
because Hugh Jackman did a good job.
And we're in 2017, 2018 now. Why can't we just cast people? People used to do this all the time, and dub the better singers over the pretty faces.
But what if the singer wasn't as good an actress?
That's what you're saying. Just cast,
you find the person that is.
They did it for the name, didn't they? Of Harry
Well,
I don't
Rebecca
mind
Ferguson could sing, and she admitted herself she could sing the song, just not as good as it, and she was happy to be dubbed over. But then I just feel sorry for the person that's singing it not being.
But no, but
Anyway,
I see it, like that person
that's
who
my
was
own
singing
thing.
got an opportunity
Of course,
to sing,
but-
and they wouldn't have had that.
Yeah, of course, and it's just my own little.
I think you should see it, John. I think you should see it.
I refuse.
In a world full of sequels and prequels and reboots, a bit like we're talking about Ready Player One, it's nice to see something fresh, something that's not connected to everything else. And I was a bit hesitant to go because I'm not a massive musical fan anyway. I know I'm just selfish like that. You're like, it'll be rubbish and happy and doing music and singing. But actually, I enjoyed it from beginning to end. We're leaving this in.
Yeah. Sam, is your phone muted?
My phone is muted.
I think you'll find my phone's on silent.
I can confirm.
It was earlier. It's because we stopped. Don't worry.
But yeah, you should see it. I'm trying to think of any any
I
negatives.
thought downsizing. I can talk about that for a couple.
So this is odd. Yeah,
Crap.
talk a bit about this because we went to go and try and see it, and it doesn't exist. Like, it's so strange what's happened with downsizing.
I won't tell you where I saw it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so
I
Jordan
won't tell you the exact website.
Jordan didn't see it in the cinema. I actually went to the cinema to watch it, and it was just literally
It's not
unavailable.
showing. It's not showing in where we live anywhere in any of the
which is strange because it was so like
Because it was a
marketing
limited release.
I don't think it was meant to be, but it did so poorly in the States that
Really?
yeah,
Right,
it did awfully.
right.
And it's because it's not the film; it's advertising.
Yeah.
It's a real. It's quite. There are bits of comedy in it. Other than Matt Damon, I can tell you any of the actors' names.
Yeah.
Except for
Kristen Wiig.
I could Kristen Wiig. What's the other bloke called?
Christopher Waltz.
Christopher.
There's
Yeah.
loads of famous people in it.
Anyway, the one whose name I don't know is the Asian actress. She's hilarious in it. I'm going to say that again. One of the better characters in it who's pretty funny is the Asian actress. She's absolutely hilarious. But the big issue of the film is obviously the selling point is downsizing.
Yeah, shrinking. Basically.
So yeah, about 20 minutes into the film,
It's its own downfall.
yeah, well, no, that's its strength, but it doesn't. There's not enough of it. So
Yeah.
about 20 minutes into the film, Kristen Wiig and Matty Damon. They're obviously downsizing, and that's really interesting. Seeing people like transfer from their life as regular sized people down, but once they've downsized, everything's to perspective. Like they're living in a tiny world, so when you're in that world with them, it doesn't look giant.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
And then it just goes completely left field right towards the end, and it's like, oh, that was I won't spoil
It's like
it.
a twist.
I wouldn't even call it a twist. I'll say this: it's not a film about downsizing. It's a film about climate change,
That's interesting.
and I'll leave it at that.
So that's why I didn't do too well. I thought the release date was strange, having it come out like in January or whatever, just after the New Year's Eve. It's like that. They could have probably made better sales. I'm not a marketer. I'm not, but it's more like a Valentine's kind of film. You'd have thought.
Yeah, that's
weird.
None of the trailers, I think, are representative of what the film is.
It's like having a clickbait thumbnail.
That's exactly what it was.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it was. Because I wanted to see him flying on ants and trying
Sinking buildings to suitcases and going against Thomas the Tank Engine.
Yeah, none of that.
Yeah.
Absolutely none of that.
That would
Shame.
make a good film, that would.
Someone's bound to do it at some point.
Bugman?
Yeah, let's do it before Disney gets there.
Or Simpsons.
Yeah. Any other films you've seen recently? Any games you played? Any last bits and pieces?
I rewatched Baywatch last night.
With Dwayne The Rock Johnson?
Yeah.
Oh!
Yeah, rewatched.
Right, so you've already seen it?
Already seen it.
And it was
Rewatched
that
it
good?
last night because it was on Now TV. It's one of those. I mean, I had it on in the background, but it's one of those sort of entertaining flicks that you don't have to care about.
I never saw it.
No,
I
I
respect
know why,
myself
yeah.
too
It's got
much.
funny parts.
Zac Efron's in it, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no way I'm watching
There's
it.
a quite funny.
Wait, but isn't The Rock in it?
Yeah,
Yeah, we're saying
definitely not watching it.
Dwayne The
There's,
Rock Johnson.
there's quite a funny meta moment when The Rock literally comes up to Zac Efron's character Brody and says, Hey, High School Musical.
That's terrible.
And it's just like...
That's not a clever joke.
No.
No, because he don't have to call him by his name. He's like, he's Bieber, he's Funny Bag or whatever, and then he says, hey,
So High School Musical movies exist in
that
Baywatch.
universe.
Yeah.
Are there any helicopters?
Yes, there are.
Did it explode?
Yes, they do.
I could have used those clips. You're not joking.
There's helicopters.
Of course there is. It's a Dwayne Johnson film.
There's jet skis.
We expected the jet skis.
I should have downloaded that. So basically, just for context, I made a trailer recently for another channel, Pixel Juice. You could go and check that out. It's Dwayne The Rock Johnson extravaganza. I took 11 different trailers starring The Rock and cut them into one cohesive storyline, because every movie he does is pretty much the same, including apparently Baywatch, which I thought was going to be so different. That had no place in it, but it still has helicopters that explode. I could have used a clip.
Definitely a Rock movie.
Is there a cameo in there from Hasselhoff?
Of course there is.
What are you, mental?
So much so that
Any work you can get.
Yeah.
he arrives in a dream sequence, but then when Hasselhoff's there in the dream sequence, apparently anyone else can see him still, because Hasselhoff tells the guy behind the Rock to shut up. So which means that he's not in Rock's head, that he's actually in the store, even though it's a dream sequence.
Wait, you've lost me.
This movie
He's
sounds
like he
terrible.
turns up in like a mirage because the Rock needs a bit of
Pep talk.
pep talk, a bit of inspiration. So suddenly Hasselhoff arrives, but then Hasselhoff arrives both in his mind and the universe, because he tells people around the Rock to shut up. And
This sounds awful.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it tonight.
it's fun. It's hard to say funny, but it's definitely fun.
It's just background noise.
You could have it, in a social party. Have it on.
I was gonna have it on a party.
Sorry,
Laughing
any
in the
social
background.
party usually doesn't involve a film. What kind of social party have you been going to?
I have
You turn up
lots
to
of
the
social
cinema.
parties.
Oh, this is a nice social party with my popcorn.
Oh, there's 200 people there. Of course, it's a social party.
Right, with that, I think we'll leave it there. Baywatch.
No, hang on.
Baywatch.
I want to know more about this man's social life.
I'm so angry. But Josh, if that's true, you are a loser.
Yeah, I don't have a social life, so I have to invent social parties.
And watch
Let's
Baywatch.
just go now.
Baywatch. I imagine Baywatch.
You just put it on in the background, but there are other voices in your life.
Drown out the sorrow.
I like the picture. It's like I Am Legend, where he's like doing all the voices to Shrek. It's just Josh and Baywatch.
Oh, God.
Hey, High School Musical.
I'm crying inside.
Well, thank you very much again for listening in to us ramble on about movies and a bit of gaming, but again, not really much happened though in the world of games this week. Podcast.MP4 comes out every Saturday. Hear us rambling every week. Please remember to subscribe if you enjoyed it. Check out the other videos on the channel. As we said, we've got Black Panther review just put up, Ready Player One kind of reaction, and we've also got some other videos obviously coming out pretty much every day at the moment, apart from Sundays. So you can look forward to them, or if not, just watch the ones you want to watch. But please remember to like, share, and subscribe. It does help us out a lot. I've been here with Jordan.
Hello.
You're not my main
goodbye.
man. Yeah, goodbye. He's not my main man anymore, I've decided. Josh, you're again, you aren't either. You never will be.
Yep, thank you for this social gathering, guys.
Yeah, exactly,
Thanks for inviting me
He
to-
left the house for once. We'll be back next week. Till then, see you later.
Bye.
Meow.